Hello everybody, this is Conquering History Games and welcome to the live stream. Today we are going to be playing some Führerreich, or I should say I am. This is an early access live stream. I've been graciously given access to the dev build for Führerreich version 0.1 by the developers of Führerreich, to which I am very thankful. Thank you very much to them. And it's also an occasion because, well, it's a live stream, which I have less and less time to do these days. Although it's kind of almost ironic because I got YouTube sponsorship set up now, and basically since I've set that up, I think I've only been able to do a couple of live streams. But that's just the way things go. Sometimes it's hard to find a couple of hours to set aside for those sorts of things. So what we are going to do here is, first I'm waiting a couple of minutes for people to actually enter the stream. We'll wait 2 to 3 minutes. I'm probably going to upload this to YouTube afterwards. Anybody who's watching it at that time, I would check the description to see when we're jumping into actual gameplay. For right now, we're going to wait for a couple of more people to actually enter the stream. And then, okay, let me just tell you right now, Halo Dude Cool, anybody who asks me for the release date, I am just going to ignore. I'm not a developer for the game. I've just been granted an early access to the build, and I don't want to promise anything which I have no control over, and I don't want to put the devs in any sort of hard position by saying that the game is going to, the mod, Führerreich, is going to release during a time when it is not. So, getting back to what I was saying, we're just waiting a few minutes for people to actually come into the chat. A fair amount are already coming in right now. And once enough people are in, I'm going to set up the straw poll. And the straw poll is going to determine who I am going to play as. Now, there are quite a few countries available to us. I'll tell you guys right now, Japan is not one of them. They do not. It sounds like the version that's going to come out after the initial release is going to focus on China and Japan. So we're not going to be doing something like that. So what I'm doing is I'm picking a few countries to put into the straw poll. So let's actually go over the list of who's here on the initial starting screen. It's rather impressive. We've got old Charlie C here. Check out my lore video about him, by the way. He's in charge of the United States. You have the Russian SSR, basically the Soviet Union, Deutsches Reich, the German Reich, the French Republic, the Kingdom of Italy, the United Kingdom, the Empire of Japan, Argentina. That was the first campaign for Führerreich that I showed off. There is the Dominion of Canada, the Ottoman Empire, the Mexican State, Kingdom of Poland, the Hungarian Republic. I don't think things are going to go too well for them in this game. Southern Texas, Bolivia, Peru, Colombia, a lot of South American countries, which is what I think is going to be one of the major appeals for Führerreich, is that there's a lot of interesting stuff going on down there. The Republic of Norway, the Kingdom of Sweden, Inter-Allied Rhineland, which is basically a rump state that is taking up the Saarland, that is a puppet of the French Republic and is essentially a buffer zone between between Germany and France. There's Georgia, not the state, but the country. So in the Caucasus, you've got Georgia there. And Zapatoslavia, which is essentially Greater Czechoslovakia. It's a union of several Slavic nations and whatnot. But I think enough time has passed. We got a fair amount of people here in the chat, so we're going to drop the straw poll here in a second. As soon as I hold on a sec, I just got to click some things over here. Just a minute. All right. And now these are all countries that I have not fully tried out yet. So it's going to be a fun exploration for both of us, I think. So the straw poll is dropping in the chat now. I'm spamming it in there. All right, so there we go. Wait, somebody was mentioning something about the Canadian leader's portrait, Lord Tweensmuir, or something like that. Okay, so we're going to let the results of the poll, we're going to let people vote on things for a little bit here. Okay, remember to be sure to check the chat for the actual link to the straw poll. It should be there right now. And I know you guys aren't clicking it because there's a whole hell of a lot more of you in the chat than there are actually voting right now. I've only got 8 votes in so far, and I'm only going to wait for so long. So if you don't want to vote, you don't want your voice to be heard, I don't want you to be complaining later. And I don't want you guys to be complaining about certain things not being in the poll at all. Okay? Can we just all agree to do that, please? Thank you very much. So let's keep going. I'm gonna keep refreshing. I'm gonna keep refreshing until at least half the chat has been polled. So let's hurry up now. I know that I'm on a delay, but it's not that long of a delay. Wow, one of the countries that I put in the poll is not getting a single vote at all. That would be Bolivia. Wow. Bolivia is, from what I've heard on the Führerreich Discord, the most fleshed out of all the South American countries. But okay, if you guys don't want to do that, that's fine. It's your decision. I'm letting you vote for it. I'm just surprised that not a single person wanted to do it. All right, so it's a pretty tight race between 2 countries in particular. Okay, somebody's upset because they tried to vote for the Bolivians. Well, I'm not seeing it, so obviously you didn't. Come on, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. I want like 13 more. All right, if you're going to be crying in the chat, please leave. So let's come on, let's vote faster, people. Please, please, please. Let's go. Come on now. There's a whole heck of a lot more than 20 of you. All right, let's put the poll back in there in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. Come on now. I'm going to give this 3 more minutes at most. So, hurry it up. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Oh, let's mute that. Okay, over here, over here. What's going on here and there? Okay. Come on, guys, vote faster. Please. It's pretty simple. You just click a button. That is all there is to it. Oh, wait, sorry, I've gotten the... Alright, there we go. In the Twitch chat, you now are also getting the straw poll. Oh, wait, I think I messed up that link. Let me fix that. There we go. You're getting it now. Alright. Come on now. Come on. Alright. Well, it looks like the Ottomans are going to take it. They've got a slight lead right now. They got a 4-vote lead. So that would be... Where are they? The Ottoman Empire over here. I should have known. Anytime you have a poll and there's the Ottomans, anytime you have Rome, the Ottomans, or Germany in a vote for any Paradox game, you know who's going to win. I should have known. Yeah. Okay, peppery friend, I didn't understand a single word that you just typed. Alright. One more minute, and we're going to get started. And during this minute, while you guys keep voting, again, it looks like the Ottomans are going to take it. We'll see. Again, still a shocking amount of you not voting. But I'm from El Paso, Texas, which has single-digit voter turnout, so I suppose I should never be disappointed by anything more than that. I'm putting the straw poll back in for anybody new who's shown up. Just check the chat. It's still there. Okay. Be right back. Let me go get myself some water and we're going to get started. Okay, I'm back. Back and fueled up. Colby Kirsch, I've always said I've already said that I am not going to be discussing a release date for this, but thank you again for the, thank you everybody again for the not everybody, the Führerreich team for granting me this early access so I could show it off. And I think we're ready to go now, just about. Let me refresh the results one more time. And it is indeed the Ottomans with a 5-point lead over Zapatoslavia. Okay, so yes, I do play Stellaris. Actually, I started up a Stellaris Distant Stars campaign. If anybody is interested in that, you should go check it out. I actually made several custom civilizations which are going to be in the galaxy. And it's going to be pretty interesting. So, anyway, it's based on the works of Robert Heinlein. Okay, I swear to God, the next person who asks me about the mod being released, because we've reached that point where everybody who's watching is watching, I'm going to start kicking you guys, or at least timing you out. Thank you very much. Let's get started. Now, we're going to be playing as the Ottomans here. Following the Great War, the Ottoman Empire had emerged in a ruinous state, with the nation occupied by various foreign powers within the Entente, and its land divided up amongst the victors. Upon the signing of the Treaty of Sèvres, Mustafa Kemal Pasha and his revolutionaries launched an attack which aimed to depose the Sultan and remove the imperialists from their position of power. The event, now known as the Kemalist Revolt, had seen the Entente grow ever increasing in their backing of the Sultan, who is now seen as a puppet by many. In the ensuing years, factionalism and political turbulence have all grown within the once great empire. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and select a country here. So, okay, here's what we're going to do. Wait a second. Wait a second. I'm so sorry. This is a live stream for anybody watching this on YouTube later. We're just having a slight chat issue. Okay, and there we go. I think there we go. We took care of the chat issue. So we're going to be playing as the Ottomans here. So let's just do a little quick review for anybody who doesn't know it yet. Führerreich is a double-blind alternative history mod. It is an alternative history that takes place within the alternative history of Kaiserreich. If you play Kaiserreich, you may be familiar that there is an event that pops up where Erich Remarque, the man who in our timeline wrote All's Quiet on the Western Front, writes a book called Führerreich, in which he speculates that perhaps Germany could have lost World War I, which is, of course, what happened in our original timeline. So, as we go deeper into the alternative history layers, we find ourselves in Führerreich, which is what you could almost say is an original timeline, but it's not. It's a world where Germany lost World War I, but it's from the perspective of a Kaiserreich person. So, for example, the United States is not being run by Franklin Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt would have just been not even a footnote of history in the Kaiserreich world. So that's what's going on there. So we're going to be playing as the Ottomans, who, since they sided with Germany, got hurt pretty bad, as you can see here. They do still technically hold Constantinople, no more it's now Istanbul, no more Constantinople, and whatnot. But it's a demilitarized zone, it would appear, so I don't think I can actually... Yeah, I can't move anybody in there. But the Greeks have taken quite a bit of land. Boy, can you imagine Athens seeing this today? The Kingdom of Italy has taken our southern coastline, so essentially we're just bottled into the Black Sea, and the Russians all chortle heartily at us. Keep it English in the chat, please. So, we're playing as the Ottomans. Let's first set up some of the simple stuff. Like right here. Okay, we got some military stuff going on. We got 3 research slots. Hallelujah, that's awesome. Okay, let's start getting this. We're going to want to get the... okay, we already got infantry equipment 1. Okay, definitely want electronic engineering. And what else do we need? Well, let's take a look at our national spirits. Let's try to get a better sense of the situation here. We've got Sick Man of Europe. Oh boy, owing to our lack of general modernization, the rather sorry state of our armed forces, and a lacking willingness to industrialize, a corrupt and undisciplined bureaucracy, an overextended and ineffective administration, sparse education opportunities, and a general disunity amongst the people of the Ottoman Empire, we have been labeled as the Sick Man of okay, guys. I'm going to start timing people out if they keep not speaking English in the chat, please. All right, so anyway, we have been labeled as the sick man of Europe. Unless we can remove this moniker and successfully reform our state, we can never hope to catch up to our European counterparts. All right, so that's pretty rough. We've also got the Ottoman Public Debt Administration, so they're people we owe money to in France, Britain, and Italy. If we are ever to achieve economic independence, we must turn our focus towards the repayment of our debts. All right, so let's look at our focuses here. What can we take right now? Nothing, it would appear. We can't take this yet because the Sultan has not been assassinated yet, but that tends to happen pretty quickly. All right, we want to be thinking about the economy. Oh boy, this is rough. Just the research times all around. All right, so another interesting thing. Oh, we want the support equipment for sure. Okay. Another interesting thing about Führerreich here is that, and maybe we'll see that event today, is if you play deep enough into the game, you can get a pop-up about a book called Caesarreich, which is an alternate history that takes place within the context of Führerreich's universe. So that's when you get into a triple-blind history. It basically has to do with Italy becoming the strongest power in Europe, although there's kind of a three-way thing going on. Yeah, let's all look forward to when that mod is made. All right, what are we dealing with here? We only have one field marshal, Osman Fuad Effendi. He's politically connected. He's a war hero, cavalry leader, offensive doctrine, and charismatic. Not too shabby. Maybe cavalry could be in our future. As for the general here, who have we got? We got a lot. We got Kazim, Ismail, Mustafa. What is this? He's an expert delegator, General Max Army Group Size +2, skilled staffer, General Max Army Size +6, and he's a career officer. How very, very interesting. What are we dealing with here? So if he has that, he's already an expert delegator. This is the one who should be our field marshal, should he not? So, all right, let's figure out what we're gonna do here. Yeah, one of these isn't working right now, but we can hold 30 divisions at the moment. We've got some dockyards. Well, one dockyard. I guess we'll just make some convoys or something. And we have some civilian factories. Not a whole lot to work with here. So for right now, let's just build some infrastructure out here. Might as well trade for these things. Not them. Let's trade with Germany. Where else is Germany? Come on, does Germany not have tungsten? Das Reich. Yeah, and of course Kaiser is a variation on Caesar, so yeah, Caesarreich is kind of like saying Kaiserreich. I think that's the joke. Let's trade with the United States. Oil, we can also get that from the United States, I think. Alright, so there go quite a few of my factories. Pretty much all of them. Alright, Führerreich build 0.0.0. The party popularity thing is there. Nothing has changed. Give me only the important events. And thanks again so much to the Führerreich team for granting me this early build. So first thing I want to do is we're going to come down here. We're going to think about how we're going to spank these Italians. Get them off of our peninsula. See, you know, on second thought, this guy's got a really low skill level. So I think, yeah, this guy's going to be better. He gets wounded more. But he's an infantry officer already. Shoot, I don't know. Winter specialist, war hero. Maybe I could just promote him. Okay. We're gonna do this. And let's start marching forward. Let's take a look though at one other focus tree, just because somebody actually said please. Over here is the United States under Charles Curtis, and this is their focus tree. Right now they are reviewing their military. Over here is their land doctrine area of the tree, where they can go down Eisenhower's grand battle plan strategies, Patton's mobile warfare, or MacArthur and the mass assault options. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys liked my EU Rome video that I did. And then, of course, as soon as I did it, they announced Imperator Rome, making it obsolete. I really appreciated that paradox. And then eventually, if you come down here, this will get rid of their national spirit failure of the Chateau Thierry counteroffensive. Over here is their naval tree, where they can go down either base strike or the fleet and being doctrines. This is their Air Force tree. And they've got the elections in 1936. There's 4 possible winners right now: Huey Long, Quinton Roosevelt, Alf Landon, and Nance Gardner. Guys, you're asking me a million questions. So sorry if I'm not getting to them all. So this eventually all goes down into the foreign policy tree, where they could choose to defend the interior or defend the border. Making deals with Panama, befriending people, or going down into Central America. You could attack the United States if they did not become not the United States, Mexico, if they did not become a constitutional monarchy. There's some other things down here where, like, you could absorb Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, and things. Over here is where they deal with the Great Depression, which they have a problem with. So that's basically the United States focus tree right now. And that's just because you were the only person to say please. So, oh yeah, and as far as the peninsula goes, they attacked. There was a war between the United States and Mexico. They kept Baja California. That's the super short version. All right, so coming back here, let's actually play as the Ottomans now. All right, the Indian Rebellion is going on out here in India. That's how every single game starts. But we're not going to pay attention to that. Like, that's way out of our purview. So, the Ottoman Empire. When the Ottoman Empire had joined the Great War on the side of the Central Powers, they had not expected the tough battle and disastrous defeat that followed. The conclusion of the Great War had seen the Ottoman Empire nearly dissolve, with the British fanning the flames for Arabian nationalism in the empire's Arabian vilayets. In addition, when the Ottoman Empire was forced to the negotiation table, they were occupied and carved up by the Entente powers, namely Britain, Greece, France, and Italy. What remains of the Ottoman Empire, which was now limited to Anatolia and Constantinople, was forced to accept a government of the Entente's choosing, with the Sultan as a figurehead. Thus, the Freedom and Entente Party had taken power in the nation under the guide of the Entente. That would be these guys right here, the social liberals. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. What followed after was a revolt by Mustafa Kemal Pasha, a brigadier general in the Ottoman army, who had sought to kick out the imperialists from Turkey and modernize the nation. A joint Anglo-Greek intervention force entered these dreams when Mustafa Kemal and his group of revolutionaries were all defeated in a short but bloody battle. Ever since the aforementioned event, the Sultan Abdulmecid II has managed to hold on to power with the backing of the Entente. However, the political situation is very turbulent, with factionalism very much prevalent, and may crack at any time. Aman Tanrim. Oh, man. Okay, so this is going to be my 4th complete Führerreich campaign. Of course, I started with the Argentinian one that you guys have seen. We've also got the United Kingdom one, which you guys need to be watching that United Kingdom playthrough. There's some fun stuff happening there that you're going to be seeing over the coming weeks. This is a very, very, very fun country. It's probably my favorite right now. Then we did the Deutsches Reich, and now it's time for the Ottoman Empire. I hope nobody's growing too attached to this young man, this young sultan here. That's all I'm going to say. And it's going to be pretty rough here. I'm honestly not expecting to win particularly in this campaign. It's very difficult for the Ottomans to get off the ground. They seem to consistently struggle every time I've seen it, and from the perspective of playing as other nations. But we're gonna see, and we'll try to do our best. By the way, can you guys hear the music? Is it too low, too high? What? All right, King George V has now died. So if we go up here to the United Kingdom, there he is. The good King Edward. And now our party gets started. The assassination of the Sultan. In a surprising turn of events, it seems as though the Sultan was recently assassinated by an Ottoman revolutionary who was reportedly unhappy with the state of the Ottoman Empire. Really, what's the problem with this little rump state? This event has come as a shock to not only many within our nation, but also international observers, all of whom are attempting to come to terms with the situation. While tensions within the Ottoman Empire had been high following our disastrous defeat in the Great War, nobody had thought that it would come to this. As it stands, the House of Osman is attempting to consolidate their power in an attempt to avoid the collapse of the nation, and an emergency session has been scheduled by the General Assembly to discuss the future of the Ottoman Empire. Whatever may come of this, however, is yet to be seen. Many are worried that this could lead the empire to finally fall. This does not bode well. Now I can take some national focuses like I'm a big boy. Alright, so emergency session. Following the assassination of the late Sultan, it has come as a surprise to many, including those within the government themselves. It is clear that an emergency session must be convened in order to decide the fate and direction of our nation. Alright, let's hop to it, and we've lost civilian factories. We got less stability, a lot of bad stuff is going on. Now, I'm thinking, okay, the question is, do we do death of an empire? And this leads down to the Kemalists, or we can go for the Tyrannist victory, or we can do a consolidation of power. We'll have the event, the empire stands strong. We also got the foreign policy, economic affairs, and things like that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to do a little save file here. Okay, got it. All right, so we can do the Empire is no more, which unlocks the death of an empire focus, or the Empire remains strong, which will open up the consolidation of power focus. I know you guys are screaming about it in the chat, so what we're just going to do is we're going to make another straw poll. So, let's see. So we can either stand strong or, wait, whoops, no more, or stand strong. It's in the chat now. Stop screaming about it. Stop screaming about it in the chat. I'm making a straw poll, please. All right. So let's just give it a minute, and while you guys are voting, I'm going to actually read the event. The General Assembly conveys the most influential and powerful of the various parties and factions within the Ottoman Empire have assembled together today in an attempt to determine the fate of the Ottoman Empire. As it stands, the state of our empire is very turbulent, with unease and uncertainty both hanging in the air as the nation awaits the decision of the General Assembly. The people themselves, who feel as though they are helpless and unable to change the current situation, have turned their attention towards this emergency meeting, which will determine the stability and unity of our empire, or the lack thereof. While a majority of the attendees, especially those from the House of Osman and the Freedom and Entente Party, support the swift consolidation of power under the House of Osman, however, an increasingly growing minority, mostly comprised of the Kemalists and Tyrannists, have been petitioning for the destruction of the empire and the rebirth of a new Turkish nation, with voting now beginning. Okay, once more, straw poll. Check the chat for the straw poll. With voting now over, the votes being tallied, the attendees are now holding their breath, waiting to see what the results of the vote show. As the final votes have now been counted, it has just been announced that, okay. Let's check the results of the poll. Really, that's it? We've got triple digits of people watching and only 24 of you voted. Seriously? Okay, well then you guys don't get to complain. We're gonna... Okay, so the winner with 16 votes is the Empire Stands Strong. This will open up the consolidation of power focus for me. Thankfully, it seems as though the House of Osman has managed to hold on to power and allow for the continuation of the Ottoman Empire under its grip. Alright. So, alright. Consolidation of power is complete. We can either go for a moderate empire or taking matters into our own hands, for which I will make a new straw poll, although we might not take this right away. Wait, we have to wait for the economy to collapse, actually, before I can do the economic affairs, though I could inspect the military as well. So what we're going to do is... I'm going to make a new poll, empire type, or matters in own hands. There we go. Poll has been created. Whoa, we got a big fly that just showed up. Must have flown in somehow. All right, so that's the new straw poll that is going in the chat right now while you work on that. Okay. Oh, geez, the music is really low. Let's bring it up a bit. Okay, so let's wait for this to fill up a little bit. The Empire now stands strong. As expected, it seems as though an overwhelming majority of the delegates in attendance have voted for the Ottoman Empire to remain in order to ensure the preservation of not only the state, but also the stability within the state, and would rather see it reform from within than completely dissolved. You know what? I actually messed up on that straw poll. Ignore that straw poll. I'm going to ignore that straw poll now. We're gonna make a new one. It's basically, do we want to go social liberal or paternal autocrat? All right, poll is created and in the chat now. Okay, we're going to hide somebody who's advertising. And we got to time out some people, other people. All right. Good. All right, so anyway, let me read this while you guys vote. As expected, it seems as though an overwhelming majority of the delegates in attendance have voted for the Ottoman Empire to remain in order to ensure the preservation of not only the state, but also the stability within the state, and would rather see it reformed from within than completely dissolved. While politically speaking, this has not endeared us to the opposition, mainly the Kemalists and Tyrannists, it is to be said that many within and without the Ottoman Empire are breathing a sigh of relief as their investments and commitments within the empire have remained secure. However, we must also turn our attention towards the selection of a new heir to take the place of the late Sultan and lead our empire to glory. As it stands, there are two contenders for the throne, Ahmed Nihad Effendi, the grandson of the former Sultan Mehmed V, who is much more moderate and calls for the liberalization of the empire, or Osman Fuad Effendi, son of Sezadi Mehmed Selahaddin, who opts to restore the empire to its former glory through conquest and militarization, while also empowering the post of the Sultan. Both sides have gained admirers and dissidents, but only one can hope to win. Who shall we choose to lead the Ottoman Empire? All right, let's check the results. And even though we once again have triple digits of people in the chat, less than 20 of you have voted, and so the winner with 14 votes is the paternal autocrats. Hail Osman Fuad Effendi. Okay, we're just trying to get the swap over now. And there we have it. How do you do? So, what was I? Anyway, so we're done with that. So we're going to be going to the taking matters into our own hands path here. Let's just give this a minute, though. Yeah, we've now just bypassed that. And we have to wait for the economy to collapse before we can go down the economic affairs. But I could do some economic mobilization here, which is going to change my economy law, which is nice. Also, mandatory conscription could be good, although I don't think I'm really in a position to build any more divisions right now. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and boot somebody who keeps advertising in the chat. Thank you very much. So we've also got something here called dealing with bureaucracy, and apparent truth is the decadent and inefficiency of the Ottoman bureaucracy. By staffing our bureaucracy with qualified and scrupulous civil servants, we can allow for greater efficiency within our state. Okay, so that must be the debt administration, maybe? Or what else have we got down here? Constitution, political system. Oh, we can get another research slot down there pretty quick. Judicial control. Disband parliament might have dire consequences. All right. I think we got to go get that research slot. So let's begin to convert the economy pretty quickly here. All right. Guys, stop talking about genocide in the chat. Standing firm. Thankfully, we have managed to stand firm against any sort of opposition that may have sought to dissolve the empire and potentially destabilize our great nation. This does not mean all is right within the Ottoman Empire. Of course, as much is yet to be accomplished. However, the future is hopeful with the ascension of Sultan Osman IV to the throne. Certainly an interesting figure, the new Sultan has promised the institution of new reforms in order to slowly yet surely strengthen the empire and allow for the glorification of all peoples, along ridding the Ottoman Empire of the moniker the sick man of Europe. Well, this will undoubtedly be a tough challenge. The Sultan feels as though he is up to the task. All right. So these guys are still training. They're ready to go. Okay. So we really do not have a whole lot going for us. Our infantry divisions, they're just your standard 18 width, nothing spectacular really. Maybe we could try to get some cavalry, but it doesn't look so good. Okay. So we got the economic mobilization going. So we're going to do this, mandatory conscription, re-educate the masses. The French are doing their colonial exhibitions. Let's also take a look at the French Republic here. Now, the French Republic also has its own unique focus tree out here. It looks like right now they're working on their Air Force. They've got their own elections that happened in 1936. They are the bulwark of the status quo, and they've got a pretty darn big focus tree. They can really get into it with the Great Britain over the foreign colonies, control the Anglophobia, and eventually signing the Dover Pact. So they can work with them or work against them. In some ways, they can work with the United States. They can renew an alliance with Poland or look to the south, go after Spain, intervene in the Civil War, depending on how long that's been going on for. Stuff like that. Although I think if they intervene in the war, it's basically they will side with anybody except for the Popular Front, which is the collectivists, because they're all about the status quo and whatnot. All right, so economic mobilization is still going. All right, we're putting you in timeout. All right, economic mobilization is complete. We're now going to do the mandatory conscription. Now, once I get that other extra political power, I'll probably then jump all the way to partial mobilization once I solidify the power of the Sultan. Although, as soon as I can, I'm going to also go down these economic affairs. So down here we've got prosperity. This fixes my consumer good factories a little bit, but is there anything that just gets rid of the debt administration? Broaden our horizons. No. Here's another research slot at least. Looks like the Indian rebels have surrendered. British Raj lives on. Yeah, Poland does have pretty close access to Berlin. If Germany's not careful, I've seen it a few times now, Poland can get really close to Berlin, but I've never seen them take it yet. Alright, mechanical computing, because we need every research bonus we can possibly get. Now I need to decide which land doctrine I'm going to be going after, and that is a little bit trickier. Might be Grand Battle Plan. You usually can't go too wrong there. Where would it be? Let's see, mass assault's interesting, but no. Maybe the trench warfare, maybe the superior firepower, just get that extra soft attack going. Where's the cavalry tree, right? No, I think some entrenchment could do us some good here. All right, we're gonna finish up this mandatory conscription here pretty quick. We're only making 0.4 political power every day right now, so we're not really in the best position. We got military colleges, field artillery. None of these. Oh wow, we'll get a 100% research bonus for support artillery. I like the sound of that. We can get German or British assistance. Actually, no, we can't. We have to get German assistance because of what we've done. No, mass assault is pretty good. Actually, maybe mass assault is what I should do. Oh, but I need the entrenchment. I gotta have it. So we're gonna now re-educate the masses and get ourselves a 4th research slot, so I don't have to struggle so much about what I'm gonna be taking. Yeah, and Germany does not have the entirety of Prussia. For example, right here, Südpreußen, whatever the heck it's called. The Portuguese Civil War has begun. Also, let's not forget the four-way Spanish Civil War that is always at the start of every single game and gets pretty messy. The Republicans are getting pretty beaten up. There does not seem to be any sort of room for a moderate in Spain. Alright, now, in the East, we're not going to really be taking a look at what's happening too much, because it's my understanding 0.2 is where the things in the East are really going to kick off. Although there are a few events that happen, for the most part, it's in development. So that's going to be 0.2. He said as 0.1 has still not hit the masses. Alright, so we're done there. We could come over here and begin to expect the military. Now, a 100% bonus for support artillery is pretty darn strong. Let's see what I could do here. I could get the anti-interwar artillery, and then I could basically instantly get number 2, so that sounds like a pretty darn good deal to me. Meanwhile, over here, yeah, so we're gonna inspect the military before the crash happens. All right. Basic machine tools are complete. I think I could do the dispersed industry. We're only starting with 4 research slots, but we can get the 5th one pretty quick. I think it's all going to work out in the end. Peppery Fiend, I'm not understanding anything that you are typing. But there's quite, there's a lot of the warlord cliques out here. You got the Ma clique, Sichuan clique, Yunnan clique, Zhuangji clique. The KMT, of course, under Chiang Kai-shek, you got to have that. The Anhui clique, the Baiyang government, the Xinjiang clique. Mongolia is, of course, in the north, waiting to come on down. All right, over here, we also have the Phoenician French. This is a puppet. It's essentially Syria. It's around Lebanon, Aleppo, and a little bit more than that. So this is down here as well. It does not have its own unique focus tree yet. All right, and we could deal with the bureaucracy, but no, I think we can keep going down here to the modernization. Oh, wait a second, another 100% for the infantry equipment. Well. So I could get this, and then I can get infantry 2. Oh boy, I'm gonna do things they never wanted me to do. So let's get the field exercises for right now, so I can run up that land doctrine kind of quickly. We're starting to get a little bit more in terms of army experience. We've got that going for us, although actually, hold on a second, I'm not actually producing any support equipment yet, I just realized. So of course we gotta take care of that. Let's do this, and I think that'll do just fine. Our ideology has now grown. What are we at? 45? No, we don't need to do that. No need for it at all. So we're gonna, oh yeah, I forgot I had this cavalry division lined up. It's kind of funny. But no, we're just gonna stop this now. Let's put you out here. Where'd my field marshal go? What's up with that? Did I accidentally assign him down there? Wait a minute. I knew I had a... Oh, I lost him as a field marshal. That's right, because he's he's now the Sultan, so he can't really be in the field. But that's fine, because we have tons of backups that we can use. And I think this would be a good time to use Mustafa. So let's go ahead and promote him. Put him in charge, and make him our field marshal up here. There we go. So now he can have 7 army groups in there if he wants. And got the cavalry dude here. It's infantry. Let's do this. And instead of you, we're going to go with Kazim. There it is. Okay, now we're all set. All right, now we do have a teeny tiny air force of 16 fighter planes, pardon me, 16 close air support and 45 fighter planes, and we also have a very small navy as well. I need to wait for one of these. Yeah, I need to wait for this artillery to finish up before I can start to take equipment modernization, or at the very least I need to do something else. So let's deal with the bureaucracy, I guess. And I think this maybe could help me with the sick man of Europe or the debt administration or something, but I don't like all these consumer good factories that are being used right now. Now, it'll be interesting to see what is going on in the rest of the world. For example, what's Argentina doing? It looks like they've gone... no, wait, yeah, it's the London market crash that we really have to wait for. That's when the game really starts. Although down in Mexico, they've actually already made their choice. They went with the Valkits, the Quetzalcoatls. Very fun god. All right, and there it is, the London stock market crash, and now the party really begins. London has now just been crippled. They are going to have to quickly work on fixing their economy. It looks like they're going for the economic stimulus, which the people will like a lot more. And we're going to see what's going to happen. I've seen them go a few different directions over the course of my games. Economic downturn. Oh, hell. Horrible news has just reached our doorstep. Apparently, several days ago, the London Stock Exchange had plunged, with unemployment rates and turnover rates soaring in the United Kingdom. The Ottoman Empire has not been left unaffected, unfortunately, as the shockwaves of the London market collapse have rapidly affected our great nation. Even now, shops are beginning to close rapidly, with foreign companies leaving the Ottoman Empire in droves. Unemployment and layoffs have skyrocketed, with discontent now brewing within the general populace. This could not have come at a worse time, and it is clear that we will have to take steps in order to combat this economic downturn, lest it tear our nation apart. So, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad here. Okay. So, wait a second. Owner. Wait, what? Oh, do we have some sponsors in the chat? Thank you to those of you who are here. I do appreciate that. Anyway, we've done that. Now we can begin to go down. Where is it? The economic affairs. Wait, no, we can't. Do we have to wait a day? There it is. All right, now we've bypassed economic affairs. So, dealing with bureaucracy. One of the biggest and most outstanding problems with the Ottoman Empire, the bureaucratic system of our empire, has been a thorn in the side of any competent ruler who has sought to modernize and bring about change within the nation. However, with the rule of the Sultan now firmly entrenched and the people now accustomed to the new political realities facing them, it is time that we finally begin to understand the monumental task of dealing with the sluggish and inefficient bureaucratic system which has plagued our empire for far too long. By instituting a series of reforms designed to make the bureaucratic system easier to deal with and more efficient for both bureaucrats and common citizens, alongside hiring both competent and loyal bureaucrats, we can finally make headway towards establishing the Ottoman Empire as a state that is on par with the European brethren. Wow, a whole 25 power. Okay, so we have a few things that we can do here. The increased monthly population kind of sounds cool, but I don't think this is what we really need right now. If we take a look here, it's still 47 days to go on that artillery, so that's going to be a no-go as well. We could do we could begin to remilitarize and maybe start demanding things, although we're going to need 300,000 men in the field, which, of course, we don't have. So perhaps... let's take a look at how many divisions Germany has. I mean, the Greeks have, but their independence is guaranteed by the United Kingdom. It's going to be a real hard battle getting out of this, digging ourselves out of our hole. Okay, we could professionalize the military. That doesn't do much. Neither does military colleges. This is going to give us some things. This will take us up to limited conscription, to general staff. Nothing particularly leaping out at me. What can we do here? Perhaps industrial development could be in order. Austerity programs. Wow, just a flat minus 100. That's rough. That's rough, buddy. Let's get ourselves the steel so that we don't have to trade for it as much anymore, or at all, really. Now we're going to need at least 300,000 men in the field eventually, so let's just queue up as many as I possibly can while I can. Alright, socialists are rising in popularity. Ouch, that cost me 50 political power. That sucks. Hey, XGOD309, could you please say please? I would appreciate that. Oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. So there's a fly that's still bugging around. Wow, the Republican Spain is doing very well. It looks like the Popular Front is actually going to be defeated here. Monarchist Spain still appears to be the strongest. We'll see what happens. Okay, hold on a second. Too bad I don't have any moderators here today. All right. Okay, a few of the relevant wars are now kicking off. So the Hamburg Commune, for example, has now risen up against Denmark. We could go to the central bank, but I don't think so. We could rewrite the Constitution, or wait a second. Okay, no, that's only 13 days away. So we're going to now get the equipment modernization. The sooner we get these in queued, the better. Yeah, those of you who are interested, yes, I do have YouTube sponsorship. You can donate to me. I'm working on what the little emojis you're going to get are to kind of mark you as a YouTube sponsor whenever I'm doing a live stream. When you donate via the super chat. One thing that I've been thinking about is maybe doing something where like you get a piece of metal that becomes gold, or maybe pillars. So this was an idea somebody pitched to me, that you can make pillars. Oh my god, 347 days. You know what? It's worth it. You would get a series of pillars to denote how long you've been a sponsor for. So you'd have 1 pillar, 2 pillar, 3 pillar, and they would be Roman numerals. Alright, so let's see what's going on down here in Argentina. It looks like the social liberals are around, although they're going to make a pact with the LAP. They are going full-blown Weimar Republic, where the liberal government is enlisting the Freikorps, essentially. This is such a weird border, how Ukraine doesn't have the Crimea. I guess it makes sense that Russia would hold it in some ways, but what are they trying to say? Alright, so we're done with that, and then next we're going to go for the field artillery, which is going to be the huge buff. Very nice. Alright, is this guy done training yet? Just about. You see, and the thing is, I also want to make these 20 widths. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's just get it done now. The sooner the better. Also, it helps sort of with the manpower. And I think what we're going to do is make these guys a higher tier. Alright, so now we're going to have them. Let's get some basic training going on up here. Or perhaps a little bit more in the center of the country, but just something like that. We're gonna set these guys up this way. Okay, looks good to me. Wait, nope, I messed up. There we go. And we want them to be high priority. Okay, so they're getting the equipment first. Good. Other things that are going on is we now have the Regno d'Italy. They've also gone Volkist, which is interesting. I haven't seen them do this yet, so I'm wondering if... Does this mean they could potentially side with Germany, which would be very interesting here? Latin, they still have to do localization. Let's remember that this is early access that I'm showing you guys. Colonial administration. They got a pretty decently big focus tree, as you can see. Uh-huh. Alright, so there's a few Volkists running around. Proclaim a Latin Republic, consolidate the regime. Okay, they could attack Portugal, they could attack the Spains, they could attack France. So it doesn't look like they can actually ally with, What is this? I've just noticed this. I was gonna say it looks like they could attack France, which Germany would like, but There's something here called Italy Greater Republic. If you control Paris, Madrid, and Lisbon. Does this mean, I think we just found our possible Roman Empire recreation tree here. And no, Siam does not have its own focus tree, for those of you who keep asking in the chat. Alright, so where were we? Oh yeah, we were going to continue on here. This cavalry guy is done. Let's get you training as well. This is going to be a little tricky. We are seriously in the hole right now as far as infantry equipment is concerned. So I'm going to probably need to start refocusing a little bit more here on my actual industry here. We've got military colleges possibly. I don't know about that. Let's actually knock out some of these political tree stuff. Like, I want to see what the new constitution actually does for me. Is this mod in a playable, stable state? Yeah, this is now the fourth campaign, the fourth campaign that I'm playing through all the way with this dev build, and it hasn't been crashing. Now, there are some bugs, there are some localization issues, there are tiny modern things, but it's certainly stable. It has not crashed on me a single time so far. Or if it has, I don't remember it, sorry. Alright, let's get those machine tools up and running. Awesome. Okay. So, Italy offers to sell us Pamphylia. That's down here. The Italian nation of Italy has offered to sell us the territory of Pamphylia. For centuries, this land has been the home of millions of Turks who were, as a result of the Great War, stolen from us. While our two nations... okay, millions of Turks? It says less than 800,000 there. I'm just saying. Alright, while our two nations have much animosity between each other, we must respect Italy's choice to reconcile with us. Oh, we have to do it. It's mandatory. Okay, so we're going to have an additional 5% consumer good factories for a year. But that's good. We now are touching the Mediterranean one step closer to Mare Nostrum, except in Turkish or something. So our efforts have been successful. Months have gone by with the Sultan and the government ensuring that the reforms aimed at modernizing our bureaucracy are followed to a T. Thankfully, it seems as though through a combination of keeping on top of the bureaucrats while also implementing effective reforms, the Ottoman Empire has become a mere bureaucratically efficient state. This has allowed for not only more qualified bureaucrats to step up and take positions within the government, but for common citizens to more easily handle their day-to-day affairs in relation to the government. The reformers certainly have shown and have made the Ottoman Empire a better nation. In addition, it has come to a shock to international observers who were, at first, skeptical of our reform efforts. They too have begun to see the effectiveness of the reforms implemented by Osman IV. So we're going to get more political power for almost a year. Why not just make it a full year? Okay. So Romania has now attacked the Hungarian Republic. I'm not holding my breath for the Hungarians to get out of this alive. Okay. So, we've now rewritten the Constitution. We should be getting that event momentarily. We could solidify the power of the Sultan and finally get out of the negatives here. First, let's see what the new Constitution does. It is clear that our empire, or what remains of it, is a decadent nation. Uh-oh, decadent! Crusader Kings 2! Triggered! Ah! Alright, so, still carrying the baggage that has plagued... Check out my Crusader Kings 2 campaigns. That has plagued it for centuries on end. If we wish to bring an end to our problems and truly usher in the era of unity, stability, and prosperity for the Ottoman Empire, we must begin to write a new constitution. The Constitution itself now vests the majority of the power in the Sultan and the Grand Vizier, taking it away from the General Assembly, allowing for a nation with a benevolent and guiding hand. This Sultan has also taken steps to ensure that the rest of the government is under his will so that he can better help dictate the policies of the empire. Hopefully this will help our empire flourish. So we are now going to get a little more political power and stability. Alright, that's not so bad. Actually, it's nice. Oh, geez, that's going to take away political power. So let's stay away from that. Another 20% political power gain if we overhaul the political system. That sounds pretty good to me, I gotta say. We're 17 days away with the trench warfare, and once that's done, we're going to be able to come on down here and get improved artillery in 2 days. So we can... What do we want to do here? Yeah, let's reform the political system, because it seems like there's focuses that I want to take that are going to cost me at least 300 political power. So I need to get that done pretty quick, I think. Alright, this guy's still training. Another one's out. Boy, we're so short on so many things. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out there. Okay. Does Kurdistan have its own focus tree? No, I do not believe that it does. At least not in this this dev build. So if you want to do the Kurd Pride worldwide, you're going to have to do it with the generic tree. Alright, trench warfare is done. Let's go and get ourselves improved artillery in 1 day. 1 day in 1937. Oh, yes. So good. So good. Alright, we need engineering companies as well, though, rather desperately. Actually, no. Let's negate that. What's the point of setting up the engineers if we don't have an industry that's actually working? So, am I going to get that? Okay, we haven't done the industry bonus yet. So let's get construction, even though I don't really care that much about construction, but let's line that up first. We have some outdated equipment in production. Look at that. We have an excess of artillery. No more. No more. No more. No more. No more. Who knows the reference? Who knows the song? Alright, Flanges Spain and Monarchist Spain are going at it. Monarchist Spain still holding kind of steadily. They really do hang in there for so long. Okay, we're going to first solidify the power of the Sultan, though, so that I could switch up here to partial mobilization, although my war support is not actually high enough right now. But world tension should continue to rise. You know what? Let's not wait on that. Let's start getting ready for some of this other stuff. Yeah, let's get the industrial development prepared. Right, overhauling the political system by constricting the parties that are in direct opposition, whether explicitly or implicitly, to our goals. We can ensure that parliamentary representatives that are elected are more favorable towards what we consider to be optimal. This will mean that a lot of the Republican and left-leaning parties will lose representation, and the Sultan will manage to slowly but surely take the reins through the manipulation of the existing system. Okay, our guys are going to get a little more popular for 125 days. Basically, the right wing is. No, right, yeah. All right. Wow, we've got some people who are watching this in Europe right now, and it's like 4:30 in the morning for them. Good on you guys. I'm glad that I can entertain you. And thanks for making me your selection for a late night live stream. Okay, so our skilled staff are here. I think since we're doing Grand Battle Plan, we should get the defensive doctrine and just get that max entrenchment bonus across the whole board. Okay, these guys need to train up some more as well. Let's knock you out. What else is happening out here? Alright, still training. Alright. Let's see. What's happening over here? Oh! Well. Looks like the Rhineland went Volkist under Heinrich... Ew, the blood's on me! Himmler! So he's become a puppet of Deutsches Reich, of the German Reich. I haven't seen this happen yet. Interesting. Okay, so we can do some subsidies here that's going to give us more research bonuses for the industry, which is pretty good, especially as we approach 1939. We can get less consumer good factories here and a little more infrastructure. Okay, if we're going to do that, though, then let's take away a couple of those. And should we nationalize the railways now? Or what? Silence the opposition. You see, that's gonna hurt when I take that one. Let's put that off. Actually, let's now solidify the power of the Sultan, get that partial mobilization. Okay. We still have a construction speed negative because of the economic downturn. The Hamburg Commune's about to finish eating up the United Kingdom. I mean, Denmark. And the United Kingdom, it looks like they've gone democratic. No, they haven't made their choice yet. Alright, what about the Reich here? It looks like they've got Hitler, but have they made the choice yet between the two ministers? No, that's German spirit. Okay, so they're keeping Hitler as their economic minister out here. All right, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? These guys are still training. These guys are done. All right, we need all the infantry equipment we can get. Let's crank out another one. Let's have more queued up. Is this going to get me over to 300,000? No, not yet. I'm just trying to get a count of what I'm dealing with here, and it looks like the fascists won in Spain. Okay, so the Spanish state has now been created. Also, right next door, let's not forget about the Portuguese Civil War, and it looks like the Republic executed a fantastic landing here, and they're going to win the Civil War. Remember, the Republic, for those of you who don't know, they begin the war down here in Africa. They're out in the colonial regions, so they managed to leapfrog their way up here. Very impressive. Let's see. What is next? Not silencing the opposition, that's for darn sure. I think we can go ahead and nationalize the railways now, and before everything else runs out. Oh, wait, no, yeah, we've got the partial mobilization. Well, let's take a look at some of these decisions we could do. We could ensure the popularity here, or maybe do a civil crackdown, but I need something that's going to increase the war support, and the war tension is just not high enough yet. So we need somebody to throw a pie or something before I can take some of these, make some of these decisions. We could go for something else here, like infantry equipment. Is there something that lowers my production? No, I need to do equipment modernization first and get some contracts with Mauser. So this is kind of tricky. All right, we're just going to hold on to it for right now then. Let's just dismiss that. Okay. So the Soviet Union has also not been formed yet. They're not going to war with their little puppets just yet. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. Engineering is done. It's a little bit too early for that. We could go for radio, or no, better yet, let's start knocking out these grand battle plans as well. Okay. Still training, still training, still training. Knock out another one there. We're still at only 253 by this count. It's going to get us to 275. Of course, remember, we need them all in the field before we can potentially go after the Hellenic Republic. Now, those sorts of things, I think, are restrictions to make sure that the Ottoman Empire, if the AI is in charge, doesn't attack Greece with, like, 10 divisions or something. But it could potentially be exploitable. We're going to have to time things out very well. Of course, we're going to want to join the Stahl Pact, the Central Powers. But we've got to be careful. Okay. Georgia also has its own unique focus tree, for those of you who didn't know. Looks like their elections are happening, and the Unionists won. So we've got the Libertarian Socialists, a.k.a. the Radical Socialists, in charge down here in Georgia. What else have they been working on? They've been working on their army. Some tank research. Okay, interesting. They're going for mechanized stuff kind of early here. Oh, we've been embargoed by the French Republic. It seems as though our decision to nationalize our railways has not been one without controversy. We've received much backlash from the French Republic as they've decided to temporarily embargo our nation, thereby hurting our trade with them. Damn it, indeed. All right. Felicity Baker, I'm currently on a Kaiserreich hiatus. And I've actually already have played as the French Commune anyway. You can look it up. The playlist is on my channel. All right, here we go to the partial mobilization. Awesome. Thank you, Charles. All right, so we're done there. We can go straight for the dispersed industry. Well, I really don't want to do either of them, actually. Not right now. It's still too early. All right, and we're gonna be getting infantry equipment too as soon as we possibly can. We're already doing the land doctrine stuff. This is way too far ahead of time. I think it's now finally acceptable for us to get the engineers, because you've got to have the entrenchment. How can you build trenches if you don't have your shovels? All right. We can petition Italy. We've already done that. No, are we gonna bypass this? How is that going to work? We could go after Armenia and then attack the Arabs. I don't think Armenia is guaranteed by anybody. We should be fine. Is it time to take that austerity powers hit? It just might be. I have to do it. I have to do it if I want to come down here. Start getting the really good stuff and get that 5th research slot. Yeah. We're going that. Uh-huh. Now, what else is going on in the world? Germany just absorbed Austria. It's not a focus. It's actually an event. And I didn't think France would be feeling very strong after the Rhineland flipped themselves over. All right, what else is going on in the big wide world? The Brazilian Civil War is still going on. It's basically a 3-way war. Well, not really. Okay, so the Republic of Spain was puppeted by the Brazilian People's Republic. Okay, austerity programs complete. Military factories, please. All right, surely some of these guys are already ready. Good. All right, let's get you and you. And reassign you over here. Also, speaking of, where are we going to put you? I'm thinking Armenia right here. Get ready for that nonsense. All right, now that construction 1's done, where are we here? Still way too early. It's going to take at least a few more months before I want to click that. Land doctrine's still a no-go. We're already working on the support equipment. Oh, radio. I don't have radio yet. Of course, I have to get that then. Okay. Uh-huh. All right, what are we gonna do? Felicity Baker, I do not take requests typically for campaigns. You're talking about something that would require hours of commitment on my part, and it's something that takes you guys 5 seconds to type into a chat. I'm not gonna do that, okay? Especially ones that get so specific. It's like, geez, why don't you just play it yourself then, since you've already got the whole thing written out already. Alright, infantry equipment 1 is done. Now we're going to get infantry equipment 2 in a day. There it is! Boop, we already got it. It's good to be the Ottomans sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes, though. But not all the time. Okay, now I'm wondering if I should bother with working on an air force at this moment. Or maybe just focus my attention elsewhere. Oh, what to do? You know what? Let's let the research kind of queue up a little bit, and then we'll get that other infantry equipment support. So let's switch this over. It's only a little bit more production, and they're much better guns. I think it'll be okay. All right. Matt, please don't promise campaigns on my behalf. I don't even know who you are, but don't be telling people I'm going to do something that I'm not going to do. All right? Because then people get mad at me about it. Thank you. What am I gonna do here? Yeah, we're gonna let this queue up. Any of these people ready yet? All right, we've got one more. Let's bring you over here. And just keep an eye on this research. Italy has become an emirate underneath Italy. Very interesting stuff going on here under the Vulcus and Balbo. Alright, it is important that we begin to consider pivoting our gaze abroad and seeking out trade partners to help aid us with the economic crisis we have found ourselves embroiled in. Okay. Japan does not have a focus tree. Alright, we're getting this. Let's let this continue to queue up as well. Alright. Yes, I've played Red World. It's not on my to-play list. I've got a lot of things lined up. Red World's not one of them. Come on, one more day. Alright, we're set here. Now, what to do? Boy, when you go ahead of time, sometimes you're just sort of stuck, aren't you? Alright, let's do that. Boy, the music sounds so low to me, but you guys keep saying that it's okay. All right, we're no longer getting the effects of the efficient bureaucracy, and we still have this economic downturn that we are dealing with. All right, silence the opposition, judiciary control. See, the disbanding of the parliament, saying it has dire consequences, is kind of worrisome to me, but I'm not going down there for ages anyway, because then I would have to silence the opposition first. So what I'm thinking first is let's do the economic prosperity and just dig ourselves out of that. See, Erwin Rommel in the chat gets it. He knows what I'm talking about. Alright, that's done. Okay, so we have the COC Holdings, the Koch Holding, I guess. Working with Koch Holding, one of the biggest and most well-known firms in our nation, would be advantageous in terms of the further industrialization of our nation alongside assisting with job creation efforts. Okay. What can we do? What can we do? Do we want to do Koch Holding or do we want to establish some radio networks? Oh, plus 50% research for the electronics. That sounds pretty good to me. Alright, we have some aluminum factories we can be getting. Maybe Montenegro before we incorporate it into our country or something like that. No, let's get it from the Swiss. They're nice and neutral. Let's see. What are we gonna do? We've got some command points here, but nothing I can spend it on. These guys are still training. We're still trying to get that 300,000 in the field. We still need more. Come on, come on. There we go, 3,007 once these 9 divisions are out. It's something. Alright, so once the radios are in play, it'll be time to do some Koch holding. Tsardom of Bulgaria under Boris III. What a joke. Anyway, oh yeah, we've got the central bank we could potentially do, but I actually think it's not a good idea. Yeah, let's just get this 5th research slot already. And then once I have a 5th one, I could, okay, well first we have to do the Koch holding. Then once we're done with the Koch holding, we'll establish the Robert College. And with that 5th research slot, and since I don't really have any more infantry stuff to do until okay, in the chat, guys, please remember that I publish my channel upload schedules in my community tab pretty regularly. So please just check there if you're curious. But as I was saying, so we're basically set on artillery for years to come. Same thing with the infantry. So having a 5th research slot means that I could take something, I don't know what, but something way ahead of time. And what I'm thinking about doing is once I'm done with this computing machine is going for the 2nd computing machine after that. Or I could maybe, get an industry extra quickly. Let's let this fill up first though. Alright, let's get that out. Any of these dudes ready? Yes, a couple of you. Let's bring it over. Awesome. 15,000, almost 16,000 in the hold. Right now it's going to take me about 1,000 days to dig myself out of this. Alright. Okay, guys, I'm going to turn the music up because I am not hearing anything. I swear. What is the deal? I don't know if it's my headphones or what. So we're gonna now, do the Robert College, as I said, now that we're done with the Koch holding. 194 days. Okay, once this is filled up, we're finally gonna take one of those industry researches. Now, which one am I gonna take? I'm already hitting the cap down here, and I'm about to hit it for the improved artillery, so maybe that's gonna be the one. We're almost finished out here in Constantinople. Yes, in fact, we just finished up. Now we're going to just crank out the military factories. First one's going to be done in July. Alright, so first things first, advanced machine tools. Let's get that up. Alright, I could grab something here. I'm not sure what. I don't have equipment modernization. How far away am I from that? Wait, I've already done that. Why is it saying I can't take the minister then? Has completed focus equipment modernization. What? But I've done that. You see, I know I need the contracts with Mouser to get this one, but not the... Okay, remember, it's hot code, guys. It's hot codes. Alright, we could go for the Grand Assault. Breakthrough and soft attack is nice to have, but I think we're going to skip on that. And I really think I might be able to... Well, I don't have the industry for it, actually. I don't even have enough infantry equipment yet. I was going to say that I could research some... let's see, demobilization. Oh, no. We don't want that. That's a no-go. In fact, let's just close that whole thing, but... Gosh, what am I going to do? I could take this and this, get the construction. Yeah, let's go for the construction. I think that's going to be the fastest way for me to get more military factories at this time. Yeah, but as I was saying, yeah, it's hot code. It's the early dev build. I'm not sure why. Okay, so clearly this is the kind of bug. This is why it's not released yet, I would imagine. Things like this. And I'm not blaming the team. It's not open to the public. This is early access. I'm not upset. You know, these things happen. All right, we finally are done with Robert College. We now have our 5 research slots available to us. So, okay, let's see, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35. So essentially like 2.5 focuses worth to get the economic prosperity going. And I think that's the way to go. We've, I mean, the economic downturn is really hurting my factory output, construction speed, and production efficiency cap. It's basically as though I am 1 below on all of these 3 branches than I normally would be. So I've got to get rid of that. Let's first do the steel, I think. Oh, speaking of which, oh my goodness, didn't I get more steel? Okay. I thought I was trading for steel. I guess I'm not. All right, but I thought that I was still trading for steel when I had plenty for a second there. All right, so this is done. We're gonna go ahead and take this ahead of time. I know I probably should have let the research bar fill up, but you know, it's something. Okay. What's next? Not conversion. I don't want to get that ahead of time. I don't need Marines. Maybe I should work on the Air Force. Or maybe I should just prepare myself for the time when I will need an Air Force. Yeah, let's get the first one here. Alright. That's done. None of these guys are ready to go yet. 15,000 in the hole. Hey, we're climbing out of it. Before it was like 16,000 in the hole, so progress is being made. Oh yeah. Wait, that's not gonna work. Hold on a sec. Let's get you. Let's bring you down here or something. Okay, do that and that. Send them out. We're good to go. Awesome. All right. So we've got the political power. What do we want to spend it on? Why can't I get the industry stuff? Subsidization of industry. I'm just not going to spend it on anything because I'm going to have to take that horrible minus 200 thing anyway. I could maybe... No, I do have a lot of chromium. I could do heavy tanks. You guys know I love my heavy tanks. Can't get enough of them. Alright, Germany, Swedish ministers. That's under Hitler, right? Where is it? No, where's the Swedish ministers one? Oh, diplomacy. Okay, so they're going for Swedish divisions, creating an alliance with them. But I thought this didn't work yet. I guess we'll see what happens. Should be interesting. What's Sweden right now? They're authoritarian Democrats. Okay. Alright, well, since I'm now over 200 political power, I think I might take a little detour Actually, there's no need to take the detour. I was about to say that I'm going to take a detour over towards silencing the opposition, but no. We've got to knock out this economic thing. Drake. Are you guys talking about Drake the singer? Alright, yeah, you just, I don't know, you guys confuse me sometimes out there in the chat. Alright, so this is 350 days. Let's wait for this to fill up, and then we're going to take it ahead of time. There still has not been a war between Russia and the rest of the SSRs, which is strange. I'm not sure why it hasn't happened yet. Well, I know why it hasn't happened yet, but it's very odd. It usually has by now. Oh, a sec. One of my cats is meowing. She wants to get through a door, so I'll be just right back. Oh, it's okay, girl. There you go. All set. Okay, I'm back, guys. So... okay, where were we? Yes, let's keep going with this. All right. We're done with this research. 326 days. Well, it's gonna take a while. Now, the question really is who we're going to go for. Oh no, the Armenian Commune was created. That means they joined the SSR, they joined the Third International. So now, if I wanted to take Armenia, I have to frickin' take on the entirety of the Third International. Hell. Alright, let's just redistribute some land while I complain about communists. Alright, I'm really getting tempted to do something here. Wartime mobilization, that's going to be a no-go, not with the war support the way it is. Alright, so since we can't get Armenia right now, we're just going to have to go some other places. Ottomans are really hard. I think I said this at the beginning of the stream, that I wasn't expecting to win, but we're just going to try to do our best and have no regrets. Alright, let's get them out. Anybody else ready? Yes, we got 4 more divisions ready to go. Ready to kill! Let's see, and then 3 more, and then once those 3 are out, we technically could then start to begin to go to war. Alright, this is still too far ahead of time, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's see, we should have had another couple of factories already built by now. Alright, that's done, that's done. Let's just try to keep them all here in the infantry. How's the Hellenic Republic doing? They've got 60 divisions. Goodness gracious, this is crazy. And now Germany is going to war. World War II has begun, and I am not ready for it. And they're the ones who I want to work with. So, okay, did we get lucky? And, oh my goodness, I think we did. I think Germany just got super freaking lucky, and France has not guaranteed Poland or Zapatoslavia. They're taking on the world by themselves. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is excellent. This is actually really, really awesome for me. Oh man, it's something. Yeah, nobody's doing anything. All right, so once the economic prosperity is done, let's run down the foreign policy tree and join the stall pack. So that way we can use our player-led peace conferences to determine how these borders are going to look, and then you guys can complain about it. All right. All right, what technology do we need next? I've got just chromium and steel, that's it. So excavating more is not going to help me. What should I research then? Maybe I should do heavy tanks. Let's just get wild with it. No, I just don't have enough factories. That's the problem. Oh, encryption and decryption. Definitely need that. Peppery friend, I'm not trying to be mean, but every time you post, I have no idea what you're saying. All right. Finally, we've got the economic prosperity, so we still have public debt administration. Isn't there going to be an event or something? Please tell me there's an event. Man, Poland's getting killed. It's so fast. They're going to go all the way to Vilno. Holding on tightly. There they go. They've now capitulated, and these are the borders. I had no part of this. I will not take the blame. Alright, well then let's at least hop into the foreign policy tree. We'll get some quick political power, and then we're going to knock out the opposition real quick. Okay, no, they kind of cleaned it up a little bit now, and they're doing some releasing, it would appear. So we've got Valkis, Latvia, Valkis, Lithuania has been created. There's sort of this weird greater Romania that seems to incorporate parts of Galicia. Alright. So we've got a nice kind of a thick Romania happening. Let's also not forget that they are currently puppeting the Hungarians as well. Alright, so we fixed up. We're done with these hurricanes here. We could go for some doctrine, I suppose. Alright, we're gonna take it to free trade. Where's that put me over here? Yeah, now I'm short on steel. Even all other things considered. Alright, that's fine. So we're done with the foreign policy. And time to silence the opposition. Wait a minute. There is something about this province of Memel. It's owned by Romania. And ignored by Germany, yes. Oh boy. How's this looking? Alright, 3 more of these divisions are ready to go. How deep in the hole are we? Less than 11,000 to go. I've practically already filled my divisions. Alright, how is Germany looking? Hungarian support for the Zapatoslavia issue. That's a little weird. They've got maybe 106 divisions, which is less than the French Republic has all on its own. And the United Kingdom is looking very weak right now. What about down here? Colombia is improving with Argentina. Peru and Colombia are having their usual war. Mexico is not doing anything yet, but I think it's because there's no actual trigger for them to go to war with the United States without justifying manually, which the AI doesn't really seem to want to do. So that's a problem. Okay, but now we've moved up to medium popularity, which is of course very nice. Could go for the Grand Vizier. We could remilitarize Albania, which will piss people off. They could deal with it. We could go for the Greeks. You see, now we have at least 300,000 men in the field. It's so annoying. It's so freaking annoying that we gotta... that Armenia joined the Third International. Alright, so let's figure out what we're going to do here. I guess let's start getting ready to disband the parliament and find out what these dire consequences actually are. But first, we need a new Vizier. Alright, cool. We're done with that as well. Oh, big penalties to keep going down there. Let's excavate so we can get some more steel. Alright, that's all done. All the research is queued up. Good. Now, Germany is making its claims in the east, so maybe I should go after Russia. See, their foreign policy tree, it's way down here. They can create an anti-Bolshevik pact and eventually strike at the Soviet Union, though they don't have enough manpower in the field right now. They might just influence the Baltic. I don't know. It's tough to say. Alright, 3 more divisions all set to kill. And look at that, we've got 24 fully fledged divisions already. Practically invincible. Alright, so as a heads up, guys, we're probably only going to go for maybe 25 minutes more at most. We'll see. Alright, we're going to appoint our loyal Grand Vizier. And now we need some judicial control. We got to start taking over all of the these different areas. Alright, new Grand Vizier. We must look forward towards appointing a loyal Grand Vizier as a way to help provide more legitimacy to our rule, whilst also making it appear to the masses as though the Sultan does not yet have absolute power, when in fact he does. In what is considered to be a smart yet somewhat risky move by observers at home and abroad, Sultan Osman IV has decided to appoint Mustafa Fevzi Pasha as the new Grand Vizier. Once the Minister of War for the Ottoman Empire, Mustafa Fevzi Pasha's expertise in matters of war will certainly help with overseeing the development of a mobilized and active Ottoman state, ready to take action against all who have wronged it. Hopefully, we've made the correct choice. So he's our new head of government, and we're going to get more army experience daily. I guess that's cool, but I don't really need that right now. But next we're going for the judiciary, and then finally we'll find out what these dire consequences are. Now, I'm really curious as to... okay, yeah, the Anti-Bolshevik Pact is being created. We're going to need it. Actually, Russia is not very strong right now. They have a huge population, of course. But I think all things it's considered. And there it is. There it is. Volkist, Italy is running out. And, oh, this is the big event. All right, pay attention, y'all. I read this all the way through every time. It's like, my name's Ernest Raymond, and this is Jackass. No, it's a new Caesar. The rising British novelist, Ernest Raymond, has released his new book, partially based on his experiences in the Great War. It has become the latest major work of alternate history in the British Empire, albeit not without controversy. The story is an emotional tale about the life of a young Great War veteran trying to live in a damaged and defeated Britain. In this timeline, a string of bad decisions leads Britain to initiate unrestricted submarine warfare in 1915, leading to the sinking of an American ship and eventually to America joining Germany in the Great War, and a victory for the Central Powers after a prolonged war that ends with a joint German-American blockade of the British Isles. But not before Austria-Hungary falls in the east and Austria-Hungary falls in the east, and socialist revolutions lead to the end of the Austrian monarchy and the birth of a Danubian socialist federation. As an authoritarian junta takes control of the civilian government in what remains of the United Kingdom, a newborn ultranationalistic movement takes over Italy, led by Marco Bressil, who proclaims himself Caesar and seeks to recreate an empire as seen in ancient Rome. German intervention stops the socialist revolution in France, but the French Republic is on its last leg as internal issues tear it apart. As efforts to maintain the status quo strain their empire, the Germans face strife of their own from socialists, separatists, and liberals alike, leaving the Italians as the most powerful nation in Europe by default. The novel ends with the beginning of a three-sided civil war between the German-led Eintracht von Europe, the revanchist Italian-led Patio de Sangue, and the Danubian-led Internationale for control of Europe. It has caught a great deal of notoriety for the chosen title translation in both Italian and German, Führerreich, a name that has been called linguistically incorrect and intentionally provocative. However, while many also criticize it for large flaws in historical logic and long-winded narration, as well as denouncing it as anti-imperial propaganda, Raymond defends his tale, stating that something like this could have happened in another universe. What a childish fantasy! Alright, so, let's get back to this. Caesarreich. Caesarreich. That would be triple bind that I was talking about. Alright, so we were training up these divisions, and whoa, we got a little freeze there for a second. Spooked me. Like I said, I don't think that there's been really any crash. Oh, there it is! RK Poland under Waclaw has now been created, so now the Germans are going to be able to do their own thing. Although now they're doing the anti-Entente propaganda, which is over here. They've specifically gone anti-British, which I think they had to, because I don't think they can. I don't think the cooperation with the British works if they go democratic. All right, judicial control. The Sultan has decided to step in and reverse many of the reforms that had been made to the judicial system during the late 19th century. Non-Muslims shall no longer enjoy the freedoms they once had, and trials shall now favor the people we consider true Ottomans. In addition, the Sultan shall be given more power to freely enforce canons, and his word will be considered final by all. We cannot hope to leave the judicial system in the hands of a corrupt or inefficient judges if we are to truly save the empire. So this is going to kind of hurt my stability for 225 days, but I'm going to get a whole lot more political power, a permanent drop in stability, and some immediate political power as well. So the power has been consolidated. Hip, hip, hooray. What is next? What is next on our agenda here? Disbanding the parliament. Oh, yes, of course. Let us discover what these dire consequences are going to be before I end today's live stream session. Maybe I should just save it up so then when the war does come, we can immediately go to wartime mobilization. But with the anti-Entente propaganda happening down here, the Rhineland referendum could happen. I don't see France having a problem with that, but then we're going to get the demands and then the dismantling. It's anybody's ball game right now, and the United Kingdom and France have not combined their factions together yet either. So, it's up in the air. Two nations enter, one nation leaves. Alright, Parliament has now been disbanded. Let's see what these dire consequences are. I'm going to let the bar fill up for the national focus while we wait to see. Okay, it is clear that Parliament is an archaic relic and nothing more than a sham that stands in the way of not only the wishes of the Sultan, but the wishes of the people. We cannot allow such an institution, which hurts not only our state but our way of life, to continue, and must look towards its immediate removal. Of course, this will not endear us to our political opposition, who may now look towards doing all they can to stop our initiative. In addition, the opposition within the country itself is already having a hard time digesting our current reforms, so this could lead them to do unspeakable things. For now, we must keep watch. So we can disband it, and this is going to hurt our stability for over a year, or... Wait, what's the difference here? I could lose manpower. So I could hurt for a long time, or what? I don't... We're just going to go onwards. So our stability is now at 8%. That's okay. We shall become the Phoenix, which will give us 5%. It's the same thing, right? Like a phoenix, we have risen from the ashes and are at the path of restoring our empire to greatness. Long live Sultan Osman IV. We got to take that because it's going to go away soon. So I could do a civil crackdown, which will increase my stability. Yeah, we might as well do that. Production efficiency cap and growth could be good. Especially right now, I don't think I'm really building. Yeah, everything's being used up by consumer factories anyway, so I should nationalize the foreign industries now while there's no consequences. Alright, next on the agenda, that's already working. Let's get some grand assault happening. Alright, whoops. Alright, what's going on? They've also gone to war with Spain, so Italy is going for this entire peninsula down here. Interesting. We'll see how it goes. Italy currently has 57 divisions, which is just about equal to the two of them, so if they can get a naval invasion, could become interesting. Alright. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep saving up and being annoyed by this. Oh, I can't take it. Maybe I should just go get the Mauser thing then, see if that fixes the bug. Where do I get that, though? Over here with German assistance, after I professionalize the military. 50% armor technology bonus does mean heavy tanks. Maybe, maybe. But no. Could apply to join now. Status of Maltea. I just don't know. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the war. We could do the British assistant, technically. This will unlock Royal Arsenal. Where's that at? Oh, it's for artillery. Might like that more. Tough to say. Decryption plus 5%. Support equipment tech. Oh, this just automatically gives me the next engineering company. It's too far down, though. Let's start professionalizing our military. Now, let's take a look at how Mexico's doing against the United States since that war began. They've got at least 85 divisions. The United States only has 31. Oh, Gardner, it's not working out for you too well, is it? Having a bad time. Germany, they are damming the Danube, so they're still working with on their economy. You know, working with Hitler and his economic policies and stuff. All right, you know what? I am not democratic, which is probably a problem for the British. The empire remains. Yeah, so Mexico should roll over these guys pretty well. Uh-oh. We've just received disastrous news. Apparently, our political opposition has taken matters into their own hands, mobilizing the general population against us. The Turanists, liberals, and Kemalists have managed to overcome their differences and have formed a coalition against us, vowing to take us out, declaring themselves the true heirs of the empire. We cannot allow them to tarnish the name of our great empire in such a way. We must take decisive action as soon as possible. And apparently these liberals wear slouch hats in Turkey. God help us. Gains national spirit, civil war. Man, what's so war about civil anyway? Alright, so they've now changed their status with us. Let's get an idea of who our friends are and who our enemies are. Okay, so I am the Empire. They are the Republic of Turkey. Alright, let's get this. Stop that training. Okay, let's take care of this here. You guys are all here. So I think the first thing we got to do is put all of you on this border, like that. We're going to take a few of you, though, and have you bottle up this area, like so. And you guys, yeah, you 5 here are going to come over here, like that. Right, now I do have some naval bases here, so maybe what we'll do is take a couple of you and get you in this fallback line, and you should be able to hold Constantinople. Alright, let's make it happen. Alright, we've bypassed the petition Italy one, as well as remilitarization of Istanbul, seeing as we're in the middle of a freaking war right now. We could make demands from Greece, but in the middle of a civil war, we're probably not in the best position to actually do that. Also, we should be able to go to war economy now, right? Wartime mobilization. Any enemy country has more than 40% of our total number of factories. Dang it! Alright, let's just come up here. Fast as we can. Okay, we're going to come over here to Kaysan, and let's get both of you on the AI battle plans, just moving as fast as you could. Right, very good. This pocket shouldn't be any real issue. We've already got our reinforcements heading up there to help with Constantinople. Although it looks like we're going to walk right into the capital. Is that enough to cause the capitulation? No. Alright, come down here and meet. Right, I just noticed there's still Italian forces in my land. Okay, something like this. No, and you're going to come here, connect the tiles. Alright, professionalization done. Yeah, I have to do the German assistance. That's fine. It's not a big deal. I want you to come along the coast here and hit this naval base. Still nowhere near capitulation. I guess I have to maybe have it programmed, but I have to take every single tile or something like that. Alright, let's get a few extra divisions in this area. Not bad considering we're 3,500 infantry equipment in the hole still. Okay, we could go for a chief of staff, maneuver, artillery, mass combat, commando, and defense. I think some good old-fashioned mass combat could be good. Alright. Having some issues here, but we're kind of pinning down all these different divisions. Alright, let's start getting you guys to come up. Come this way and get to the naval base quickly. Alright, and make sure you guys are set to be aggressive. Good. Okay, wait, no. Your job, you're a cavalry division. Your job is to be the blitzer. Like so. Alright. Alright, that's done. We could go for the excavation, or I could start getting one of these ahead of time. Yeah, 184 days isn't too bad. And I think I can go to 4 speed. Alright, we've got another encirclement happening here. Very good. Wow, they still haven't... they're still not there yet, are they? Alright, that's fine. You're going to be down to just a handful of tiles pretty soon here. Alright, so that wasn't too difficult of a civil war at all. Although it's technically not over, so I should watch what I say. Alright, flip around like that. And no chance, that's what they had. Let's get you here in the Black Sea. Okay, good. What's Germany up to? Industrial... No, wait, that's not them. Demand... Alright, the war with France is going to start here, which I'm really wondering if I should get involved in or not. Okay, that's it. Republic of Turkey is dead. Okay, I apparently don't have enough points, even though I was the only other person in the Civil War. Guess I'm just that good. There it is. Okay, done. Alright, so we have prevailed, as I always knew we would. We could go for the status of Maltea after this, or we could hold on and actually get those contracts. Also, I'm up to getting 2/3 of a point today, political power per day. As expected, we have managed to put down the dissenters and revolutionaries who had attempted to topple our rule and plunge the Ottoman Empire into anarchy. This comes as great news to many within the government who are extremely satisfied with our enduring stability and the strength of our armed forces. It seems as though from now on we can look forward to more peaceful times and ensure a better, more stable Ottoman Empire. For peace, stability, and prosperity. So this is going to get rid of the Civil War effect here. And I get 100 political power. Don't mind if I do. Alright. So now let's wrap up the German assistance, and that's when I think I'm going to be calling it a night. At least for this recording session. Because we're also about to go into the war between Germany and France. All right, German assistance is done. That's it for today. Thanks all of you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed the this showcase of Führerreich. Again, thank you to the Führerreich team for providing this dev build to me early. I'll try to live stream within the next week to wrap up this, although also keep in mind I will eventually put them up on YouTube as their own individual videos, this Ottoman Empire one. Yeah, be sure to check out the rest of my channel. Check out my other Führerreich content that I've been making thanks to the early access, and check out the other things. They're not Führerreich at all. There's a lot of interesting things, I think. And you all have yourselves a wonderful day. Goodbye.